Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel. Today I'm going to show you 20 licks you can use for soloing on Nuages. Nuages is probably Django Reinhardt's most famous composition and one of his best loved certainly. It's a great tune, it's a beautiful tune, and it's really quite hard. The chords are not at all fiddle friendly. So if you try just blasting into it the first time, you'll find out just how hard it is. So I'm going to show you some easy-ish ways through, line by line, and I'll show you that a lot of the chords there are not as scary as they actually appear. But don't think that this is going to be a walk through the park, because it's not. So I'm going to take you through line by line, as I say, and the first line actually occurs I think 4 times in the tune, and it all goes horribly wrong pretty well straight away if you're not prepared. So we're going to do several different approaches to this first line. What we've got is B flat minus 7 to E flat 7, followed by A flat minus 7 to D7 flat 9, and that can be quite baffling if you're not sure what's going on. So if you think of it as 2 2-5-1s, and if you're not sure what 2-5-1 is, I do have a video all about that. So we're starting off with a 2-5-1 on an A flat, but we never get to the A flat. So the first chord, B flat minus 7, is the 2 and is the 5, and that will be the 1, but we don't go to the 1, we go straight to another 2-5-1, and that one does take us to the 1, which is the G, which is the key of the song. Those chords are dressed up a bit, so the A minus 7 has got a flat 5 and the D7 has got a flat 9, but that's not a cause for panic. You can just treat those as A minus 7 and D7. So you need to find a line that takes you through B flat minus 7 to E flat, and that's easy because those are basically within the same chord. So anything you play for the B flat minus 7 will also fit on the E flat 7. And the same with the A minor, D7 and G. And then the chords that follow the G, and a G over a B, you don't need to worry about those, just play the the 3rd and 4th bar as if they were G. So let's go through the first line and I'll give you a simple line that runs from one bar to the next. So we've just got 3 notes, a D flat note, which takes you through the first 2 chords, a C, which takes you through the next 2 chords, and a B, which takes you to the next 2 bars. And obviously just playing 3 notes is not enough, but you can dress those up just with a little bit of rhythm and a few notes around, and that'll sound like something proper. Let me do that again. And notice that when we get to the G, that's the place where you can do some free-ish improvising just over the G, because that's an easy place to improvise. If you want, of course, you can play as many notes as you like over the first 2 bars, but I would play it safe for those 2 bars and make it look easy then when you get to the G. Let me give you another line which starts on a B flat, goes up to a C, and then down to a G. Let's see what that sounds like. And notice again that I dressed it up, so it wasn't just 3 notes. So we'll find another line like that, which will be a B flat to an A, to a E. And this was, I think, Django on his first recording, he did something like this. He loved sixth chords, so for the G, rather than hit the root third or fifth, he hit the sixth. Let's just hear that. Now what Stephane Grappelli would often do is his swirls of harmonics, and this is a perfect tune for that because it's in the key of G. So he might do something like this. So for the A note on the second chord, he'd be in third position and he's basically doing this, but playing harmonics. And then for the G note, he's down in first position, but up to third again. And it's the starting note and the ending note that you have to be careful with, that have to relate to the chords. The ones in between don't really have to at all. Let me just give you that one again. Now, having just mentioned Stephane, I have to remember to put my mute on, because Stephane very often used the mute, particularly on tunes like this, and I've looked at quite a few videos of him playing Nuages, and indeed he definitely does have the mute on for at least one of those, which gives you this gives you a much softer, more Nuages type of tone. Now the next one we're going to do follows the chords much more closely, so we're going. So we're going up the arpeggio of the B flat minor 7, and then down the arpeggio of the E flat 7, but not starting on the root. And then the same with the A minor, and down. And this is kind of my default for 2-5-1s when they're tricky ones. I notice now we've got some quavers in. Because this is a ballad, we're not playing, we're actually playing them even. But very fluid, so they can be longer or shorter, but we're not trying to swing. Let me just do that again. So the first bar I played absolutely straight, and then I kind of bent it around a bit. Now let's go up a scale and down a scale rather than up an arpeggio. So we're starting on the B flat and just going up 3 notes of the scale. Now I do strongly recommend that you listen to Didier Lockwood's version of Nuages on his Tribute to Stephane Grappelli album. This is, I think, my favourite 32 bars of any jazz tune. He plays the melody, but it leads, it's kind of, the solo is integrated right in there to the melody. And he packs so much into that solo. Not least, he has amazing facility for harmonics of every kind, and the beautiful breathy tone that he gets and on the different harmonics are quite amazing. And so I've got 2 phrases that he uses in his solo. We're starting off, I think this is right at the beginning of his solo. So we're starting off with the F natural, E flat, let's hear that with the chords. nice. It's an A diminished, starting on a D note, and then a lovely bend. I'm very much not into transcribing whole solos, but if there was one solo that I would transcribe, even though it would take me a month to do, then that's the one I would do. So far we've pretty well ignored the two chords at the end of this line, but if you want to do the roots of those chords, then I'll just show you what they are. Here we go. And that's quite a nice line in itself, and you could do parallel fifths if you wanted. Now, let's finally move on from these chords to line 3, which is F sharp minor 7 flat 5 and B7 and E minor. So what is that? That is a 2-5-1, where the E minor is the 1, so the 2 is the F sharp minor 7, which happens to have a flat 5. The B7 is the 5, and the E minor is the 1. So, going up and down an arpeggio, what does that sound like? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going up F sharp, A, C natural, E, D sharp, and down to E minor. Another line you could do, an ascending line, which that's quite a nice one, and it makes the most of that B7 chord. Let's do that again. Here we go. Notice again how I made use of the final two bars to do the interesting stuff. If that sounds too pedestrian, then one thing you can always do is double up the notes. And there I'm doing a diminished arpeggio. Call that an A diminished arpeggio, and so we are treating both those two chords, F sharp minor 7 flat 5 and B7, as if they were one chord of A diminished. Now when we get to the E minor, I think Grappelli, on every version that I've seen, he always puts in a flat third. And it always works, and you can either do something very simple like that, and I'll just show you that, or you can do something more flowing if you are fluent with blues scales. And the fluency of two bars like that more than make up for the bits where you're kind of struggling to hang on to the chords. But people don't know that. They hear you doing something fluid like that, and they think that you could do that whenever you liked. And yeah, the fact that you are sweating over some of the other chords, it really doesn't matter. We then come to line 4, where we've got A7 to A flat 7 back to A7. And one thing people often do is a double stop with an E and a C sharp, slide the whole thing down and up again. that sounds like. And then you can move neatly from the C sharp on the A up to a D. One thing that Didier Lockwood does on that on the D after the A7 is which is a lovely one. It's these harmonics where you put your first finger down and you put your fourth finger a fourth above and lightly touch the string. And that's something that he is very adept at indeed. Let me play that with those chords. Here we go. Also for the A7. If you want to play the roots, then high A is nice. Or you can go way up. And you may think that there's 5 years work learning to go from here to there, but if you are prepared to slide up until you reach the note, then it makes it a lot easier. I think I probably couldn't hit that note without a slide. Oh, actually I can, never mind. Okay, so let me give you when you play really high, and this is actually a good tune for playing really high. Tim Cliphouse at a workshop, he told me this. He told me play really softly when you get up there. It never occurred to me that was important. But if you scrape away at full volume, then it really sounds horrible. And tiny notes, that's very important. Let's move on to line 6. E flat minor 7, A flat 7, D minor 7 flat 5, G7 sharp 9, F, G7 flat 9. And although you haven't seen these chords before, you've seen this progression before, because this is the same as the intro but moved. So you've got two 5/1s and then another one a semitone down. But now we're aiming to C rather than to G. So I'll give you the roots followed by up and down the arpeggio. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And yet again, I'm making use of those two chords, of those two bars, the C, D minor 7, E flat, C over E, and just treating those as C and relaxing and kind of sprawling out on those chords. Then we have a C minor 7 in line 7, and if you want a note that carries you through the F7 as well, then an E flat is a good one. Moving to a D for the G. Here we go. And again we have the freedom of the G at the end. Let's see if we can do that up an octave higher. F7 on one of Grappelli's recordings. He did a nice rundown. Here's the C minor 7. Then we're back to the beginning. So for your ending, any kind of parallel fifths, descending chromatic scale is going to be nice. There I did the whole octave. But you could just do, and always pause on the E flat, A flat, because that gives a really nice discord against the G chord, which you can then clear up right at the end. So I'm just going to play you the final lick, which is that one. And of course you can do, if you feel like it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I didn't give you the melody. If you are on Patreon, on my Patreon page, I do have the melody in the lower and the upper octave. So I hope some of you will consider joining me on that. But I can send you a copy of all of these licks, the 20 licks with the chords. So if you subscribe, email me at the email address at the bottom of the description of this video, and you'll find it. So I hope to see you soon. Bye.